This podcast is not intended to usurp or undermine the authority of your spiritual leadership. Our aim is to support the spiritual growth of our listeners.
I would even go farther and say it's a learned behavior because it's
it's very learned, societal norm. But if we live in Italy or some other country, they would look at us very awkwardly to see, like, what are you eating? Right. Those are chemicals. Like, they don't even like have that in the store.
Yep.
So we need to be aware that, like, we're programmed in a certain way here in the United States. This is okay. This is fine. The food industry says it's fine. It's not. Eat as close to plant-based as possible for your brain. And that includes, like, black beans and fruits and vegetables. Eat the rainbow. The more color you have, the more antioxidants you have. And then those healthy fats, that we talked about, like salmon, that fish. Fish is really good. Mackerel, things like that.
What can you eat instead of salmon? Because I'm not a big salmon guy.
Tuna. I mean, if you like fish, if you don't like fish, you don't want to eat it. There's different things out there like flaxseed oils and flax seeds and chia seeds and things like that you can have good oils, and there's supplements out there. Some people really hate fish. Like my daughter does not like fish, but then I'll give her like flaxseed oil, and you can get that, at the health food store, or you can mix flax seeds in your smoothie every day, but they have to be ground because if they're whole flax seeds, your body will it just goes through your body. So you need to grind them up if you're going to do flaxseed as the oil. But the more plant-based you can do and the less saturated fats you can do, you've already won for your brain. So keep butter at like a minimum. Fried foods, they have something called advanced glycogen end products. Those AGEs is what it's called. And it's like basically toxins that are created because it's at such a high temperature, like a high temperature that was created by man, basically, like these high, frying oils, and they get to a high temp right away. Like your body doesn't, when you consume fried foods like that, it affects and damages your blood vessels. They actually did research on that. So over time, if you eat a lot of fatty foods that are saturated, like fried foods, it's going to clog your arteries, less blood flow to the brain. You're going to cause, you're going to increase your dementia risk. And the other thing is with your gut. So your gut and your brain are connected, right? So if 80% of your serotonin, which is for your brain, is made in your gut, and your gut isn't healthy, well, guess what? You're not going to get as much serotonin for your brain. And they're just all connected. So you want to make sure you have a healthy gut, and a way to do that is less fried processed foods. Acid reflux. Acid reflux is like the biggest thing now. It's like everybody's on omeprazole or pantoprazole or some kind of acid reflux medication or Tums. Or I'm like, stop eating what you're doing. Stop the soda, the phosphoric acids, the acids that are in these drinks, these energy drinks or whatever. There's acids in there, or the fatty foods. Your body's like, what did you just feed me? If you're having indigestion, your body's like, don't do that. Like, stop it. Eat food. Dr. Amen says, eat food that loves you back. Eat food that is nourishing to your body versus I'm just going to eat this because it tastes good. I'll suffer the consequences. Well, you might be suffering the consequences short term and long term because it is affecting your brain, your blood vessels, increasing inflammation. It's making your gut not very healthy, that type of thing. So, and things that increase, what are some things that maybe improve your gut health? What can you think of that you've seen on TV or that you've seen or you've heard that increases your gut health?
I've seen sourdough bread.
Sourdough bread, because why?
I think I've heard like the bacteria.
Yep,
and then it cleanses.
Bacteria, it's fermented. Yep, it helps process the good, makes a good biome, a good environment in there. Yogurt. So you can actually, yogurt. So you can actually like digest food. Food is only good. Food is only as good as being absorbed. Somebody say that again. Food is only as good as you being able to absorb it. So if you eat foods and you're chronically eating foods that your body doesn't like, or it's chronically eating fried foods or processed foods that are out of a package, or, muffins that are in these little mini muffins that have all these dough conditioners and all these chemicals, and your body's like, what did you feed me? Your body is trying to process that, right? Well, it becomes inflamed. It doesn't do well. And over time, what happens is you get it's called leaky gut. And you get these little holes or pores in your gut, and then little toxins leak out into your blood, and then it goes into your brain, and it causes some brain fog. So the reason I'm saying that is because with the probiotics and these foods like yogurt, sourdough, kimchi is a fermented cabbage from Asian countries, and we also have like what is it called? Kefir is like you see that sometimes, Kefir. It's a fermented probiotic drink. Kombucha is a fermented tea.
I've heard of kombucha.
Any type of like fermentation that says like live cultures, it's good for your gut. But things that are bad for your gut are things like processed foods that will actually kill the good bacteria. So it's a yin and a yang. You can't just be like, well, I'm just going to eat all this junk and then every now and then have a yogurt. It doesn't work that way. You need to make sure you eat foods that are less processed and more plant-based foods, so that way you can have a good biome in there to absorb the food, so that way your body can use the nutrients. Because there's a lot of times people eat foods and they're not absorbing it. It's just going out their system because they're not able to grab the nutrients because their gut is so unhealthy. They're not actually grabbing the nutrients. And that's where you get constipation. You get diarrhea. You get the acid reflux. You get the, not feeling good after you eat type of thing.
Back to the dialysis where they're like filtering it out of your blood, right? Like that.
Well, because when their kidneys fail. And the reason their kidneys fail is because they're diabetes. And they're diabetes because if your blood sugars are high, it kills nerves, just like the nerves to your kidneys, nerves to your feet, nerves to your eyes, and nerves to your brain. That's why diabetes is not something to mess around with. If you know anybody with diabetes, they need to manage it well. So, we need to try to get through some beverages. I wanted to talk about those because those are popular now. So what do you think are some things that are kind of beverages can cause some problems or increase your risk of dementia?
Sure. Energy drinks,
Red Bull.
Just your regular Coke.
Regular Coke, that's right. High fructose corn syrup. They cause blood sugar spikes big time. High fructose corn syrup's even in some chips. It's in chips. Maltodextrin. It's, those chips that you just can't stop eating? Well, they've got some sugar in them, especially like those Hawaiian ones, or they've got, I don't know, they're just kind of a little bit of sweet and they're salty. Those increase your blood sugar. Same with like peanut butter. Peanut butter, you can see that sometimes they'll even put high fructose corn syrup in the peanut butter, and that spikes your blood sugar. So that can cause, like, all that sugar, your body, it increases that blood sugar and the up and down. And like I said, it can lead to type 3 diabetes, which doesn't mean you have blood sugar problems per se, but because of the up and down and the up and down and up and down, it can trigger shrinkage of that hippocampus in the back of your neck. So sugary drinks doesn't matter. Water. God created water. What? I don't know why we just can't drink water.
Right. I think a lot of people don't drink water because all this stuff's available.
Yeah, it's more fun. It's more fun to drink.
In all reality, we're all probably half dehydrated.
We are half dehydrated, and your body doesn't function well when it's dehydrated.
Because I notice I have like headaches and migraines when I don't drink a lot of water.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm dehydrated.
Why do you get headaches when you're dehydrated?
Because I'm starving my brain of the nutrients it needs.
Right. And where do you get nutrients? From your blood. So if the blood can't go where it needs to go, you get headaches. You don't feel good. So we need to take care of our blood by making sure it's hydrated. Make sure the blood sugar isn't high. Make sure your blood pressure is not. Life is in the blood. It really matters. Life is in the blood. You need the blood to go.
And physical.
Yes, you need to. Yes, yeah. That's why everything's connected. Everything's connected. God knew what he was doing when he said life is in the blood. It really is in the blood. So, diet sodas. Well, I don't want a regular Coke, so I'll drink a Diet Coke. Well, these artificial sweeteners.
Just as bad for you.
Yeah. So they did a lot of research on these sugar substitutes that are like the chemicals in there. And they actually said that there's a 62% faster decline in thinking and memory skills, especially in adults under 60. So we need to be careful on all these artificial sweeteners too. I'll just drink a diet soda. It matters too, with all those different chemicals. I will say there's a soda out there called Zevia with a Z that you can see at Fresh Time. They use stevia, which is a natural herb. I would recommend that if you really want soda. It's called Zevia.
I noticed that artificial sweeteners like in Diet Coke or Pepsi Zero or stuff like that cause migraines too.
Yeah, why would that? Because your brain
I did a little like research on it, and it's like these I'm probably gonna butcher this. It's an alcohol in it, in the sugar,
Yeah, sugar, alcohol, that's why your body doesn't absorb it. It's because your body's like, what is this? Well, where does it go? It has to go somewhere where it gets deposited places. It goes in your brain.
It's not natural. And then when you try to process it, it messes you up.
Yeah, it does. And same with like red dyes.
Well, plus with the caffeine, that dehydrates you as well.
Yeah, dehydrates you as well. For every 1 cup of caffeine, you're supposed to have 2 cups of hydrating water. So most people are like, well, isn't the Coke hydrating because it has water? No, because of the 100 milligrams of caffeine, you need 2 cups of water to replace the hydration in that. So you become dehydrated. Commercial fruit drinks. Think about all those like fruit drinks. It's all the sugar in there. And we're giving them to little kids. Come on, but fruit juice is different. Fruit juice does increase the blood sugar, but not as much as like a high fructose corn syrup, because high fructose corn syrup is man-made. It's not God-made. So high fructose corn syrup is like spike, but natural sugar is like fructose, and think fructose, think fruit. Your body naturally is like, yeah, this is good. Now, I'm not saying go drink juice all the time, but if you choose between a high fructose corn syrup drink and a fruit juice, pick a fruit juice. It'd be better to choose the fruit. You know why you want to choose a whole piece of fruit?
There's
fiber in there versus like just a fruit juice. Like, I really want something sweet, so I'm just going to do fruit juice.
Okay.
You want to choose the apple or the orange or something like that, because it has the fiber in there. It has the synergistic vitamins and minerals that your body needs. It has the peelings in there. You want to do more whole-based things versus quick fix sugary things.
Well, to go deeper into that, I think even like apple juice, like they sweeten it with.
Yeah, if it's not 100% juice, they will put high fructose corn syrup in there to make it even sweeter.
Or like orange juice.
Orange juice,
You see it
the same thing.
with high fructose corn syrup. Is that what you're saying? Mm-hmm. Or trying to think like cranberry juice.
They want you to drink it. Consume. So they'll add sugars to it. So just make sure if you want juice, it's 100% juice. Juicy juice, I think, is 100% juice, and sometimes they'll add water to it. I usually say if you want juice and you don't like the taste of water, do like mostly water and just a splash of 100% juice, so you get like a tinge of flavoring if people really hate the taste of water, because their water is nasty too. I mean, you got chemicals in that.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
We can go down that realm, of types of waters and all that stuff. And then we already talked about alcohol. It can cause neurotoxin in your brain. So, and then permanent brain damage, permanent shrinkage.
Thanks for tuning into the HV Church podcast. We hope this episode encouraged and inspired you in your walk with God. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and feel free to share this podcast with a friend or family member who might need to hear it. If you want to learn more about HV Church or connect with us, visit hvchurch.com or follow us on our social media pages. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.